indictment.
If everybody could please call me.
Tonight, President Biden avoids commenting on the federal indictment of former President Trump. Reporters asked the president about the case while he visited a community college in North Carolina as part of his Investing in America tour. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for Fox 5 News at 6. I'm Tom Haynes in for Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryan. Federal prosecutors have released the details of the charges against former President Trump. It is all in connection with his handling of classified documents discovered at his Mar-a-Lago resort. A federal grand jury indicted the former president on 37 counts, including willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and false statements. In the unsealed indictment, prosecutors accuse Mr. Trump of improperly storing top secret documents in several places, including a bathroom, shower, and bedroom. Prosecutors say in July 2021, during a meeting with a writer, publisher, and 2 members of his staff at his Bedminster Club in New Jersey, the former president showed a plan of attack prepared for him by the Department of Defense. Weeks later, he showed a representative of his political action committee a classified map related to a military operation.
My office will seek a speedy trial in this matter, consistent with the public interest and the rights of the accused.
The indictment also charged Trump aide Walt Nauta. Prosecutors allege Nauta, at Mr. Trump's direction, moved boxes from a storage room even after receiving a subpoena from a grand jury.
The unsealing of the federal charges took place as the Georgia GOP convention gets underway in Columbus. Former President Trump will speak at the event tomorrow. Supporters expect the former president will address the federal charges in the pending criminal indictment in Georgia. Let's get out to Fox 5 Deidre Dukes, who's live at the Fulton County Courthouse with reaction for us tonight. Deidre?
Now, we talked to a GOP pollster this afternoon who said he actually saw a bump in polling for Trump following his first indictment. So he expects that these new federal charges will only further galvanize his political base.
I think he's going to address these indictments head on.
Inside Advantage CEO and Georgia Gang panelist Phil Kent expects former President Donald Trump will have a lot to say about the federal indictment when he takes the stage at the Georgia GOP convention in Columbus Saturday.
And he's going to say that it's a witch hunt, that it's very flimsy argument.
The former president announced on Thursday he faces federal charges in classified documents investigation, his second criminal indictment, just hours after he railed against Fulton County DA Fani Willis and the pending criminal indictment in Georgia during a phone interview with Kent.
I think she'll lose tremendous credibility if she even thinks about it. They're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on going after me for a perfect phone call, and people are shooting and killing people on the streets and nothing happens to them. And Atlanta has the #1 per capita crime rate or murder rate in the United States. It doesn't make sense.
Democratic strategist and Paramount Consulting CEO Theron Johnson says the former president is using the indictments as an opportunity to try to garner Republican support.
And I'm just very disappointed that the majority of Republican voters in Georgia and other states right now, if the election were today, Donald Trump would be the Republican nominee.
While Trump's legal troubles could help him win the GOP primary, Johnson thinks it would hurt Trump in the general election.
So I think that the Republican voters feel like, hey, he's a victim. Maybe this empowers him. But I think where he loses votes are with the moderate independent voters who determine who the president of the United States is.
Now, both Johnson and Kent did say that this could prove to be a distraction for the GOP presidential candidates on the campaign trail if they're forced to continually talk about these charges rather than focusing on the kitchen table issues, as they like to say, such as the economy. So they say it's very important that we don't see this type of distraction or disruption for those candidates on the campaign trail. That's latest here in Fulton County. Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, Deidre, it'll be so interesting to see how all this plays out in the days and weeks ahead. As mentioned, the former president could face charges here in Atlanta. A recent letter suggesting Fulton County DA Fani Willis may seek indictments against somebody in the efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia. The letter suggests a decision in early to mid-August. Her exact targets are not known. DA Willis did request an increased police presence around the courthouse during that time and said that a majority of her staff will be working from home.
A Manhattan grand jury previously indicted former President Trump in March. It surrounded a hush money payment made to former adult film star Stormy Daniels on Mr. Trump's behalf. After the indictment, protesters gathered outside his Mar-a-Lago estate, slamming the indictment. And the former president took to Truth Social, saying in part, quote, "They only brought this fake, corrupt, and disgraceful charge against me because I stand with the American people." Mr. Trump is the first former U.S. president ever to be indicted with criminal charges. Now remember, for the latest breaking updates on this story, download the free Fox 5 Atlanta news app. You can also check out fox5atlanta.com.
Right now, Georgia